it will tell us. There's always a little bit of a delay because it isn't always. Okay, we are now streaming live. So hello everybody. I have got Joanna right here from the Right School of Dance and creator of Thinklesticks. And Joanna's going to be talking today about how you can use Thinklesticks to turn all the uncertainty that we're having turn it around into an opportunity. So Joanna, lovely to have you. It would be great if you could tell us a bit more about the Right School of Dance, and also Thinklesticks as well, and how that came about.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Tanya, for having me. It's very exciting going
You're
live. Because all the videos that I've been doing are pre-filmed, so you can kind of edit whatever you want. So
there's no editing here.
This is a new thing for me, the live situation.
It's good fun.
Yes, yeah, it is good fun. So yes, Right School of Dance I set up in 2001, so it's 19 years old now. It's got over 100 pupils. I teach ballet, tap and street dance, but it's very much been a part-time business for me, as in time-wise, because I kind of see it as 50% of my career.
Okay.
And 50% of the other side is my author work and my personal development work. So I had this dream in about 2011 that this is what I wanted to do, and it's taken me a long time to get there.
Yes,
it's taken a lot of time and effort to have a side hustle become 50% of what you do. But yes, Right School of Dance is a big passion of mine. I've always loved dancing since when I was 4. And then I did my teaching qualifications as a teenager, moved to Reading with 2 young children at the time, and wanted to start up, a dance school. Didn't think I could do it at all, had no self-belief or self-anything at that point. But I had cheerleaders. I had cheerleaders around me who said, you can do this, And so that's what happened. With 3 pupils, I started off, but it's grown and grown through the years. I have amazing families who come every Saturday and Monday. So yes, that's Right School of Dance. That's my baby that's grown into like a mature teenager, I suppose. Mature teenager now. And then Thinklesticks is my newest business, but I've been working on the project since 2014. It's a personal development business. So I have designed the Mind Garden, which is a personal development platform. It's like something to put all your different thoughts and run it through the Mind Garden and try and make sense of it. It's something that I designed for myself, selfishly, but it was something that's
how a lot of things start, though.
Yeah, exactly. How to help myself, because I was very much a person who my mind did not work for me in any way. It would always try to sabotage me in most ways, most of the time. And that was my personal experience. And other people would not have known that about me on the outside, because I was running the dance school and I was bringing up 2 children by myself. And people wouldn't have known that was my internal experience, but it was a very sort of negative internal experience, the suffering that I had. So I set Thinklesticks up when I became interested in personal development. And personal development has changed my whole experience of life. So it's changed. Transformational in the way that I process things and learn about myself and my emotions and how to manage myself through any circumstance. So the Mind Garden became very useful to me.
Yes.
And as it became more useful to me, I started to think, I wonder if this is useful for anybody else. Is it just me who can benefit from this, or is it other people?
Oh, there'll be lots of other people, yes.
So absolutely. And actually, Tanya, you were part of my research project.
I was, yes.
Which is continuing, I have to say.
That's fantastic.
And I've interviewed 81 people now.
81 people, because I think I was 40 something, wasn't I? Yeah.
I mean, it takes so much time. I've been doing it for 4 years, but we're getting there. I really want to reach 100. That's like a goal.
Brilliant. But it's important to actually just keeping understanding.
It was to see if that understanding with people, if anybody else could relate to the drawings, you know, the doodles that represent certain things and tools and strategies and different things, and whether other people could relate to that. Thank you. Well, thank you.
I just think the fact you've turned it into a garden, I think it's brilliant, because it's so relatable. Everyone's had a garden, even if they've not got one now, they've had some experience of a garden in their life. So it just makes it so relatable. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, and even people who haven't necessarily got into gardening yet, you know, I've interviewed teenagers, and teenagers get the concept of gardens. You know,
they will do.
You've got to have So it's working. It's very exciting to see that it can have an impact, a positive impact. But yes, it's a side hustle that's become this now 50% of my time.
Brilliant.
So they're my two babies, my two businesses that I'm very passionate about. So that's
fantastic. Really. That's how we've got to where we are today. And today it was interesting. This live came out of the fact we were discussing, you know, what are key issues that were coming out of, you know, I'm running my brainstorms, and through this period of uncertainty, what were the issues that people kept sort of coming to the brainstorms with. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to go through some of those, and you're going to actually look at how we can use the Mind Garden and Thinklesticks to help people work through those. So the first one is, you know, a lot of people said to me, should I be trying to make money at a time like this? And this actually came up on the yesterday evening's one as well. It's still very relevant now, because it is that you don't want to be seen as profiteering, but are you in fact? So so how would you respond to that with the Thinklestick? And
well, this is something that I personally struggled with the Right School of Dance, you know, because I suddenly found myself in the same situation as all of us, where, you know, your business just stops. You know, when the lockdown came, I couldn't make any money. I suddenly, it was, and it's trauma, isn't it? So I've spoken to quite a lot of people, and it is like a shock and a trauma, and those emotions are really, really high. So I really struggled for, I think it was about 3 days in that mindset of disaster.
Yes.
Okay, so I have in Thinklesticks, there's in fact, I've sent this across to you. I don't know whether you could put it on the screen.
I can. Which one would it be?
Which is the one with the ladder type effect, the first one. With the disaster. Let's see if
this works. This one here?
Yeah.
Is it this one here? Oh, it works.
It is that one. Well done, Talia. Oh gosh, that's impressive. Okay, so yeah.
So if you want to talk through that, I don't know if I can make that bigger, but
that's cool. So in the initial news and the initial emotions were in disaster mode. So if you see that one at the bottom there, you know, it was huge emotions going on regarding money, in fact, because I suddenly realized that all of my salary, all of my income would be gone, because I run Wiggle Waggle as well, which is an under fives music and movement class. All the nurseries cut their contracts with me because they had to, because they were closing down. Plus I couldn't, you know, the hall that I hire closed down. Obviously, everyone's locked down. Everything went in a matter of half a day or something.
Wow.
Yeah. And so my mindset, well, it wasn't even my mindset, it was all my emotions, you know, raw emotions of fear, panic. You know, it was a disaster. So I was in that for about 3 days. And then I started to kick in with Thinklesticks, and I bought this model out, and I thought, okay, I can see, look at me there, sat on the floor.
Absolutely. So you drew this at that time?
I drew it before. So this is something that I use often. So this is one of my tools, my go-to tools.
Okay.
That I use personally, and that I help other people use as well.
Yeah.
So I sat myself down and I thought, yeah, look, I'm that little girl on the floor, absolutely don't know what to do. I have no idea what to do. this is a disaster. So I thought, right, okay, I have to get myself to problem mode. I have to look at this from a different perspective. So problem mode is where you look at all the different problems one by one. So if we're talking about money, you know, what are the problems going to be? If I don't have money, I won't be able to eat. I won't be able to put food on the table for my children. You know, there are big problems here.
Yeah,
so
there would be.
And this is what people, I think, need to try to remind themselves about. You know, if you don't have money coming in, there are huge consequences to that. So looking at the problems, you can see, okay, I can see why I was in disaster mode, but I need to move forward on this because I need to earn some money.
Yeah.
So then I moved into irritation mode, which is that, you know, that rage, like, oh my gosh, how is this happening? Like, I've done this, I've built this dance school up for 19 years, and why is this happening now?
Gone. Yeah.
You know, it's all suddenly gone. And I was really cross with coronavirus, you know, and I just got it all out.
Natural human reaction, isn't it?
Natural human reaction. And a lot of people were feeling it at the time. We realised we've got to do the lockdown, obviously, but all the problems that come with that and how frustrating that is. And for people who were homeschooling, how frustrating that can be, you know. So I let myself just get all the emotions out, you know. I just thought, right, I'm in irritation mode. What is really annoying me? Get it all out rather than try to suppress it. Just kind of move forward. And then you get to situation mode, which is the most effective mode to be in. It's the facts. So you have to strip out all the emotion. And this is really important when you talk about money, because I think money can be so emotive. The subject of money is emotive, and also it brings judgment.
Yes.
Okay, and I think this is what people were really struggling with, and I was struggling with in those other modes, because you're thinking, gosh, you know, I can't make money at this sort of time. You know, I can't put my dance school online and try and charge people. You know, all those different emotions.
On the one hand, you need to make money, but on the other hand, should you be doing it? And you're just stuck in the middle going, what's the right way forward? What's the right way forward?
And I think if you can get yourself to situation mode, which is, okay, this is the situation. We've got a global pandemic. That's not my fault. That's not your fault. But businesses are going to really struggle. What are other people's businesses doing? They're going online to try to preserve or, you know, indeed build a business. Okay, that's a fact. You know, so how can I apply this to my own business? But taking the emotion out of it, taking the, oh gosh, what are people going to say? You know, are people going to approve of this? Are people going to buy it? It's just, this is the facts. These are the facts. I can't go to my dance hall because it's closed. You know, that's a fact. So it's kind of bringing yourself back to that with taking all the emotion out.
And that's such an important point, though, isn't it? It's about stepping away from taking the emotion out and just focusing on the facts.
Yeah, and it's so important. And if you see there, that's the garden manager kicking in. So the mind garden manager has got her clipboard in situation mode. It's where your emotional side just has to, you know, stop talking for a minute. And the emotional side has been running the disaster and the problem and the irritation mode. But the really, you know, the strategic part of your mind is now in place with that situation mode. So then you move into challenge mode. And this is where I think a lot of us picked back up again. You know, like where you're like, right, okay, well, this is happening. So I'm going to have to get into my mindset, which is going to work for me rather than against me. But still thinking about money, you know, you've got to be then thinking about your whys. And you talk about this a lot. And I believe in this so wholeheartedly, that your why is so important. Why do you need, not just why do you need money, you know, because you do need money. I mean, it's a fact. If you don't, there are real struggles, aren't there?
Yes, there are.
So you've got those sort of needs and musts and whys about money, but also, you know, this was my business. This was the children that come to my dance school. How am I going to let them know that I'm still there for them through this crisis? And that then, as soon as I could hook onto the fact that I was doing this actually more for other people, I could get into my challenge mode.
So that's interesting.
I think in my mindset, I had to attach it to my why.
Yes. And that's why the why is so powerful, because
so powerful, especially in uncertainty and the situation we're in now.
Yeah. Just
because I just sat down and I thought about my customers, and my customers are the pupils that come to the dance school and the families. And I thought about all their little faces. I thought about all the laughs we have. I thought about all the things that why do I do this? I want to inspire people to dance and enjoy dance and have dance in their lives. So the thought for me then in challenge mode is, okay, can I do this for the why?
Yes.
And at that point, I really found that motivation, the energy to get up in the morning, you know, the plans in place. How can I do this? And you start thinking, how can I do this? Rather than, I can't do this, in that emotional zone at the bottom.
Yes. Yes.
So that was really, really important for me to get into that mindset. And also then attaching the money with the why. You know,
because you still need to make money at the end of the day.
Still need to make money at the end of the day. No, it's not. But I thought also to make myself feel comfortable with the situation, that I would offer, if any families had any major problems financially, like if they're self-employed like me, you know, and they lost everything, that they would just get their whole term free.
Oh, that was really generous.
So there was this aspect of me which that made it feel comfortable for me. You know, that made it feel like, okay, I need to earn money because I just do. You know? And
you do. Of course, you've got to eat. You've got a family to support. Yes, you do.
But when you're in that feeling, oh, well, should I make any money from this? It's like, well, actually, you really need to. Because if you can, and not everybody can in this situation, but if you can, you really do owe it to yourself and your family to try, you know. And so then once I was in challenge mode, I then started to see, because my favorite mindset mode is opportunity mode.
This one at the top.
Yeah. And this is why I loved your sessions and I love what you're doing, turning uncertainty into opportunity. Because we have this opportunity. Nobody knows what's going on. But the opportunities that have come out of this thing for the Bright School of Dance are huge, because the children are practicing at home. It's opened up a whole new idea for me of thinking, right, okay, well, when we learn a new dance, I can also add it to the online sector.
You could, and they can practice it, and they can practice it at home
through the week.
Yeah.
Like, why have I never done that, Tanya?
I don't know. Why haven't you? But again, you wouldn't. There wasn't any need. There wasn't. Is this like it's what do they call? I can't think there's a phrase, like but again, it's created a need now, and you're doing it. So yeah,
and
absolutely.
That's the same as the choreography academy that I've set up. That was like an idea that I had for maybe launching in September.
Yes.
But I thought, okay, well, this is an opportunity to trial it. You know, while the children are at home wanting to do a little bit something different, I can trial this because I've never taught it before. I've been a choreographer for however long, but I've never taught it. So this is an opportunity. So that was, again, another opportunity. And I priced it as something that I thought was reasonable.
Oh, it's incredibly reasonable.
But, you know, everyone was saying to me, gosh, the children are loving it. The children are loving it. But they still paid me for it.
They did. And yeah, we did too. Quite happily paid you for it.
And it wasn't extortionate. And I think where you're talking about profiteering is really different from giving people value.
It absolutely is. And I think I've put a post somewhere and I just explaining what profiteering was, and it was a packet of antibacterial wipes being sold for £14 when they're usually £1.50. That's profiteering.
That's
what you're
profiteering.
doing, putting something that will benefit and help people and charging for it and charging, you know, its value, and that's not profiteering at all. And you know, that's helping us, that gives us something extra to do in the week. So we take a lot of value from it. I just want to say here to people, if you are following this, because we're in Zoom, we can't actually see any comments or questions. So if you do have any questions or comments, please put them in the comments, and we're not ignoring you, we just can't see them in the system. So we will answer them afterwards. So thank you if you are watching, and if you've got comments and questions, please do put them in and we will respond when we can. Anyway, so and I think it's a fantastic model, and thank you for sharing that story.
It is just something that I use for all areas of life when I feel my emotions are taking over, which is natural and normal, especially in this time of stress. And so I don't beat myself up about it if I'm having a day in problem mode or irritation mode, or if I have, you know, those times I'm like, oh, this is so annoying, you know. But it's knowing, it's that awareness that you're there, and that actually this is not the most helpful mindset in the world. You know, there is a better way of thinking to actually not just improve you and your experience, but everybody around you.
It's absolutely, as you say, it's accepting that it happens, but being aware of it and knowing how to get out of it. So I will stop sharing that. I'm just moving on to the next one. We have, so there's also the ones where another key issue that came up was where people have got the option to go online like you did. They're afraid they won't be able to make it work. There's a fear of taking that first step and giving it a go. You know, how can they cope with being so much visible to a potentially much wider audience? All those kind of thoughts and emotions. Again, how did you use Thinklesticks?
So this was something that hit me as well at the beginning, especially when I was in disaster mode. At the beginning, because suddenly, now I love Joe Wicks. Okay, I love what he's doing. I love that.
We're a bit fan in this house as well.
You know, and I think it's brilliant. But on a personal level, when that first happened, on a personal level, my self-belief plummeted. Absolutely plummeted, because I suddenly thought, hold on a minute, all my dancers, all my families can now go to anybody online for free. Okay. And I suddenly thought, oh, well, they're not going to come to me now because Joe Wicks is going to do it all for them. You know, there was a real, because the trauma had hit me anyway, and I was feeling like the wind had just like, you know, like a storm had hit. I was really doubting my own ability to be worth something. And I think this is what people are struggling with, because suddenly the internet, everyone's on the internet, and there's like people doing your job in America. And anyone can log into America and do it from, you know, and suddenly, I mean, it's been happening all the time, hasn't it? But I just had never thought about it until this moment.
That little sort of negative thought.
Negative. And, you know, people know that I am a positive person. I have this positive outlook. But they rarely see that I've had to get up that ladder before you see that positive psychology that ends up being what makes me drive forward. That feeling was real of, well, actually, maybe I shouldn't bother. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I'm not good enough to do this. All those fears that people are having, you know, maybe I'll make a fool of myself. Maybe I can't do this. I don't like video. You know, I mean, it was coming from all angles. And that's why disaster mode, problem mode, and irritation mode are not the best mindsets to make decisions from.
You need to
get strategic. You need to remember why people come to you, your USP.
Yes.
Why are people coming to my dance school? I had to reconnect with the why.
Yes.
And the USP,
Yes,
and
absolutely. Because again, we could all go into, and we follow Joe Wicks, but I follow Joe Wicks, and but we still do because we come to you because there's that relationship there as well.
Exactly.
And then I occasionally do classes with another personal trainer, but again, because that's that relationship, and it's a very different setup to Joe Wicks. So it's just remembering that.
Absolutely, but that's why I wanted to share that, because I think what happens, especially, I mean, I'm so thankful to Thinklesticks, even though I kind of made it up, but it's like, I'm just thankful.
How do things get started, Joanna? Everything's made up from beginning. How do you come up with things? You made it up.
But so true. But it's I'm so grateful to that tool.
Yeah.
Because all those negative things in my head and that self-belief, damning myself, oh gosh, I can't do this. We're in those lower modes. We're in the emotional modes, and they were natural and normal, but they weren't helpful.
And I think you've got to accept them. You've got to allow them. You can't fight them.
Got to allow them. No. And that's why I spend that time going, okay, come on, get it out. What are you feeling like is a disaster? And I draw it or I write it, get it all out. And then problem mode, get it all out. Irritation, get it all out. And then you're then at a level ground. And then I could see, okay, do you know what? I'm thinking about all these children. I have a great relationship with these children and with these families. I know that what I have to do now is I have to keep the relationship going above all other things. So, and keep them dancing.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
And so I had back to, okay,
we're starting to lose you a little bit there.
Thinking from your customer's perspective is really, really helpful. So I thought of myself as this 8-year-old dancer who loves dancing. What would I want? So I was thinking I'd want certificates, I would want some certificates or something to aim towards while I was at home. So I put that into place.
And that's at that point there as well.
Yeah.
That point you make, put yourself in your customer's shoes and put yourself into their heads, and what would they like and what would they think, and is to say it's worked. Those certificates are fantastic. Just use that example. And I know my little girl just loves seeing those and watching those, and
it's
just
a
on the
simple
top
thing,
of the,
isn't it? But it's like, I would love that if I was 8. Like this is like, and I always spent loads of time designing it, and I was like, oh yeah, we'll have this star and this star. And then you see, I was in an opportunity mode, and I was loving that side of things. And then, there is so much that you can contribute that you, in those lower modes and those negative things, you forget all that. So it's really important to get to that situation mode, and then to challenge, and then think about your customer, think about your potential customers, as well, not even just your customers now.
Yeah, because there's an opportunity to grow when you go online. There is an opportunity because you can reach an audience that you weren't reaching before, which is fantastic. And I think you have, haven't you? You've had people join the dance school, haven't you? Since
I've had people join since. And also, what was amazing, was that some of my pupils who left and moved away,
have come back.
I've said, this is amazing. We can do ballet in wherever, Aldershot or something. I was like, oh wow.
So you've gone from this point that I'm Joe Wicks is going to take on my dance
Joe
students.
Wicks is taking my dance school, and I was like, oh my god, what am I going to do? And then Oaksy Mabusi came along, and I was like, well, I can't compete with her because she's amazing. Like all the self-doubt.
But then you've been with some of these kids. You've been with my daughter since she was 14 months old. Oaksy Mabusi hasn't.
Right.
So
well, exactly. And I think that's once I started to think, okay, and then it was a two-way thing. Then the opportunity is communication, communicating much more not intimately, but much more regularly with parents. When you send me the videos of them practicing, there's always that interaction. I love that. I feel like, oh gosh, I'm going back to the days when it was just me and I had to do all the admin, and not that I want to do all the admin. I love Claire.
Claire's not out of a job.
No, she is not. But it's nice to have that extra And it's an opportunity for me to really bond a little bit more with families, know what the situations are, be a support where I can be, inspire a bit of happiness in their family's life in the week.
Which you are. It's fantastic. Brilliant. So moving on, this is turning into a brilliant mammoth chat here, but
sorry,
I can keep we can keep going, and I'm sure it's all very, very useful stuff you're sharing here. So we had the other one was my business is doing well. So there's some people who are doing well, and I used to say you've grown your business, but there are people who suddenly they've got a rush on, and they feel guilty talking about it.
Right.
Because other people aren't doing so well.
Yeah. Guilt is a difficult emotion, isn't it? And again, but it's an emotion that you have to kind of keep in check.
Yes.
It's in the mind garden, it's kind of like a creeping weed.
Yes.
You know, and I certainly had an experience with guilt quite early on. Once I decided I was going to put dance school online and Wiggle Waggle, I put together like a rushed email, you know, like, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do. And I put the email out to all the nursery parents, and, you know, it went out. And then I saw a message on Facebook, like somebody's status. So I obviously know the person because I saw their status. Not one of my close friends or anything, but I saw the status saying, I can't believe people are trying to make money from this situation. Okay. And it was the day that I sent out the email. And I was thinking, oh my God, I've done the wrong thing. Oh, am I doing the wrong thing? You know, that guilt.
Yeah.
I suddenly got washed with this, oh God, I've got myself into challenge mode, and now I feel like,
you have to take a step back.
Yeah. And I really don't think that was meant for me.
No.
But
it's when you're in that mindset, you then think all those comments,
you
think all those comments are aimed at you.
I think guilt can like creep in and make you doubt yourself again.
Yeah.
But I think we have to, you know, come back to a bigger picture here. And we are in a global crisis. But everybody is in a different situation.
They are.
Every single person is dealing with similar things, probably. But many people, you can't judge what's going on in anybody else's garden.
No. As you say, they're similar, but everyone's at the end of the day, we're unique. We all have unique lives and unique issues.
Lives, unique, you know, mental experiences going on, emotions, and we've got common ground, but everybody's unique. Now, if someone is doing really well in this period of time, I personally would think, wow, they have probably really prepared their business. They've been working at this. This has not just happened. Like, they probably prepared themselves as a business not to profiteer, but to find opportunities, you know, and that's a thing to be celebrated, in my opinion. Being sensitive to other people, I think, is important. So I do a lot of inner wow moments. For me.
Oh, you have inner wow moments.
I have inner wow moments where you just think, oh wow, you know, that's amazing. But I don't have to put all my wow moments onto Facebook.
No.
I don't have to be insensitive with my wow, you know, like, oh my gosh, look at this video from the start, you know. But my general feeling at the moment is that I am feeling like, wow, there's all these mini miracles are happening to me all the time because children are responding to the work that I'm doing. And that's wow for me.
Yeah,
but I don't feel like I need to put it everywhere.
Yes.
You know, I think that there's a balance there between, you know, and share it with the people you know are your cheerleaders.
So don't feel worried about sharing it and talking to other people.
Don't feel worried about. No, I mean, I've shared my love and like excitement of the kids sending me videos with all my close friends, with all the people who it will mean something to.
Yeah.
And also the families who are involved, because I think it's important for us to keep buoyant and, you know, positive about the situation. But I don't need to put it out and go, my business is thriving in this, you know, and making other people, you know, maybe feel worse. You don't know. I mean, everybody's perception is their own responsibility.
Yeah.
Really.
That's a good point, that is. And I think it is. And I don't think any of these businesses were particularly planning to shout about it. But as you say, there's finding a balance between shouting about it and
I think, you know, one of the important tools that I use in Thinklesticks, which you might want to show, is the sifter. So it's the daily awareness sifter.
Do this again. Okay. Daily awareness sifter. Is it that one?
It's like got a sieve above the head.
I found it. No, that's not it, is it?
Oh, no.
No, that's not
fine.
it. Let's see.
That's
it's that one. There we go. Not quite as seamless as before. So you've got the sifter here. So you've got the harmful stuff.
Oh, I can't see the sifter.
You can't see the sifter?
No,
because it's not... Oh, so you're still showing it? Oh, because I've done it the wrong way. Hang on, stop share. Stop share. Hang on.
I'm very impressed.
I'm just going to pull it up. That wasn't quite as seamless as last time, was it? Okay, here we go.
It's real.
Keeping it real here.
Keeping it real.
Where is the sifter? There we go. Can you see it this time?
Yes.
Yes, there you go.
So this is something that I use at the end of every day, every single day. This is
every single day.
Every single day. When I didn't, and when I don't, I have many more problems.
Okay.
Put it that way. This is sifting the day. Okay, so where has that guilt come from? You know, did someone make a comment? You know, is that your own internal interpretation of what's going on? You know, where is the guilt coming from? And I think if you can sift it and think, is this good for me to be feeling like this, or is this harmful? You know, is this harmful to the why that I'm doing my business? You know, it's a good sort of tool to just sift through the day and go, okay, you know, all right, I felt the guilt. It's not really helpful to carry that forward for the next 6 weeks because it might prevent me from making important decisions. And it might prevent me from actually enjoying some of these moments. As horrible as this period of time is, we have to still be looking for those magical moments and those moments to keep us buoyant through the darker times. So I think it's important that guilt is one of those heavier feelings. And if it stays for 3, 4, 5 days, it can really get to you.
It can sort of settle.
It can settle and it can then grow and stop you from doing things. So I think it's just important if you can do some sifting at the end of the day. And my sifting literally takes 5 minutes.
Yes. I think it's a good practice to get into, definitely.
Yeah. Definitely. It's something that I really strive to teach people in Thinklesticks because you can catch things very quickly.
Yes. Yeah, no, that's good. It's a good way because if you're doing it every day, you're stopping something before it embeds, which is brilliant. Okay, the last one is around prioritization, and people are, you know, making that decision over, you know, they're quite often a quandary over whether they should focus on getting their house in order and just, you know, using the time to work on their business, sort things out, or use the time to grow their business. And, you know, maybe to use the word pivot to, you know, can we find a different way of running our business, you know, new audiences, that kind of thing, or should we just focus on getting everything in order? What would you use to actually, how would you use Thinklesticks to help you find that focus and prioritize?
Okay, so I have in Thinklesticks, I use a tool called the greenhouse.
Is it one of those, is it in one of the...
I think, I think it's there. Did I put the greenhouse in with my bunch of pictures? I'm not sure.
I'm not entirely sure.
Enthusiasm, maybe. I don't know.
I probably won't, because we could be sifting through. Okay, if we just talk through the greenhouse one.
I'll talk through the greenhouse one. So if you were to think of your work zone, as a garden.
Yes.
Okay, and this is what I do. I always have a greenhouse project, at least one. I mean, I'm a little bit, I love progress. So
yes,
I kind of got lots of things in the greenhouse. But I think in your business, the greenhouse is the exciting part. It's the bit that growing things and nurturing them. You know, I mean, you've got your power hour things that are coming up.
I've sort of used to replace the discovery sessions for the time being. Yes.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, so, So power up.
Yeah.
But it's like a project, isn't it? It's like,
yes,
it's a project, and project thinking for me is exciting. So even in this time, you know, I'm still pottering at what's in the future. I'm not thinking about 3 months time, because I have no idea what's going on in 3 months time. I'm thinking about 10 years time.
Wow.
Which seems like, oh my God, what are we going to do in 10? But I'm thinking, do you know what? This is who I want to be in 10 years time. I don't know how I'm going to get there right now, because this is a global pandemic. But I really want to grow these projects, grow my knowledge, grow my skills. And, you know, these are things I can control, is me.
I think, again, that's an important thing, is what can you control at the moment? What
can you control? And it's so important to focus on what you can control and what you can't. I can't control when my dance hall springs back up and I'm allowed to go in at social distance. I can't control that. But what I can control is my skills, my attitude, my mindset, my confidence building. All these things are personal development projects that I can aim towards my dance hall and aim towards my Thinklesticks business. So for me, I always have to have the growth projects, something that excites me about the future. And that's hard to do right now, not knowing what the future is, but you still go into the greenhouse. It's protected. It doesn't have to know what's going. It's just like little steps every day or once a week or whatever you want to do. The greenhouse is important. So I would say that it's very individual, isn't it, about what's going on in everyone's different, what's the right thing to do. I think what's really important to do is to know your own business and to put the shutters up of everyone around you and go, what do I want to grow in my business? This is not about what other people think I should be doing or what 50 people are doing over there. It's about, how do I want this to grow and what do I need to do within that? So for me, I do about percentages. So I don't kind of go, right, I'm going to spend 5 hours on this. I kind of just have a percentage of 60% of my working week is going to be on what I output. So that could be dance lessons, writing, drawing, blogging, you know, things that content that's coming from me to my job. Then about 20% is activity, emails, social media, blah, blah, blah. And probably I'm doing about 9% social media, not doing enough at the moment. And then the other is inputting knowledge from my business area into me. So books, podcasts, you know, videos, YouTube, people who are in the business that I'm in. Like I watch dance videos, you know, for my choreography inspiration. I listen to writers' podcasts. I listen to personal development podcasts. So 20% is inputting new stuff. So for me, that is just what I do all the time. So I haven't changed what I do. That's what I do. So I haven't changed in this particular time. I think it's really important but it's important to know your own.
I think, that's
what you need to do your percentages.
Yes, as you say. So it's about knowing your business, and then as you say, you split it into percentages. So this is what I'm going to.
I mean, what would you think of in your business roughly? Like, what's your biggest chunk of work? You know, it's thinking, okay, and then just try to timetable it in, and it's so difficult if you're homeschooling or you're trying to balance everything.
I think you can, it is. But I think if you put the time in,
you are intentional about it and you have it. And that's why I think Thinklesticks works for me, because I just look at the picture. I draw it, and I think, okay, I've got that project in the greenhouse. I need to spend a bit of time in there. I've got this project that's trying to expand things. I've got this maintenance project here.
Yeah, there may be a bit of weeding you need to do.
Lots
so again, it's
weeding is natural, isn't it?
Yeah. So when you think about putting your house in order and your business in order, what do you need to do weeding to tidy things up? So, you know, because you'd be doing 10% of that. And yeah, it was quite interesting on one of the brainstorms the other week. It was, and it was one of the business owners. She's in a position where she is really, really busy. It's just what she does is in demand. And as well as talking to her about not being guilty, it was also, okay, the issue she's facing at the moment is, how do I grow my business? Because at the moment I'm in demand because of the pandemic, but she's got to think ahead of time as well. So we were talking about, okay, maybe putting aside an hour a day, where this is where you focus on growing the business and getting that pipeline in place for when this pandemic related demand will drop off, which it will do. So she's
absolutely. And that's it. That's a greenhouse project for me. I would be like, that's a greenhouse project, hour a day in there happily.
Yes.
And I think that's really important, that
and I love the analogy of the greenhouse.
Shut down everything else, and you could have weeds all in that main garden, like that you've got to come back to. But the hour, enjoy it.
Yes. Just enjoy the
hour of progress and growth, and wow, this could work, and what about this, and da da da. You know, let the inspiration. It's an inspirational place. Okay, you know, learning, education. That's what the greenhouse is about. So yes, so the lady who's wanting to look further ahead and how do you progress this, that's a greenhouse project. That would be a greenhouse project,
and which she very much needs to be able to split that from the day to
enjoy
day. And enjoy it as well.
Really important, because there are going to be moments that you can't enjoy.
Of course, in every business, there will be.
In every business, and what's going on now, there's going to be difficult things that are going on, and you can't enjoy it all. But when you can, do it.
Yes, make sure you got that time to. You put that time aside to do it. Okay, well, brilliant, fantastic. Thank you. That was really informative, and I think we've been going for about 50 minutes. So if anyone's still watching, fantastic. But no, don't, because I'd happily sit and watch this all over again as well. Because you've shared some fantastic stuff, and something we didn't mention at the beginning. You briefly mentioned writing. You do have 2 books. So if you just want to share what those are, if people want to.
I'm never far away from this one. So this is The Mind Garden.
And how can people get that if they're interested?
People can get that on Amazon.
On Amazon.
So Amazon, I think it's about a 5-day delivery now or something. So, or you can go to Thinklesticks.com and you can also buy it through there. There's a link to Amazon through there. From Monday, I'm relaunching my weekly newsletter. So people might be interested in that. I had a break from that, but I'm full steam ahead with that now.
And those are brilliant. Project. This is Think or Stick each week, isn't it? And you just go through that.
And it can be any random topic that comes into my head, basically.
Yeah, brilliant. But and your first book, and your first book, Benchmark, is that still in stock so people can order that? Is that Amazon as well?
So Amazon, that is also available on Kindle as well.
Okay, Benchmark on Kindle.
Thinklesticks isn't, because there were so many visuals in it. It became very difficult. I'm trying to work that out still, but yeah, Benchmark is more of a fictional story, but still that theme of developing and kind of taking yourself on.
It's what inspired, wasn't it? Is at the end the rut to strut, that drawing you did. Absolutely. That's where Thinklesticks came from. Yeah, the final drawing in Benchmark.
God, that was well remembered, Tanya.
I remember it. Yeah, very good. I think it's a brilliant phrase, from rut to strut.
From rut to strut. And that's basically is what the disaster to opportunity is all about still. It's from rut to strut. You know, that confidence.
And I just love the dancing analogy there as well. It's brilliant, fantastic.
Crosses over.
Yes, which it naturally would. Anyway, well, thank you very much, Joanna.
Thank
you. I've hoped, I'm sure everyone who has made it this far, you have enjoyed it. I said I'm definitely going to watch it back, because there's lots of useful information and tips in there. So thank you very much, Joanna. And
it's been my pleasure. I've really enjoyed speaking to you. Thank you, Tanya.
Likewise. Thank you. Okay, so that's bye from us. And any comments and questions, as I've said before, just because we're using Zoom, we can't actually see the comments coming in live, but we will, as soon as we can, get on and answer any comments, respond to any comments and answer any questions that there are. Okay, so enjoy the rest of your Friday, and it's bye-bye from us.
Bye.
Bye-bye.